कहत कबीर सुनो भाई साधो, कहत कबीर सुनो भाई साधो, अरे कहत कबीर सुनो भाई साधो, कहत कबीर सुनो भाई साधो। साहब मिले सबूरी में, अरे साहब मिले सबूरी में, मन लागो यार फकीरी में।
What is the meaning of slavery? What is the meaning of slavery? Obviously, if you are following just the commands, the dictates of somebody else, it is slavery. Slavery in the sense that obviously you have no freedom. Somebody else is on top of you, pushing you, guiding you, compelling you, or luring you to be in a certain way, to act in a certain way. And we can obviously see that this is slavery. But it is important to see that what looks like opposite of this is not really freedom. If I say that following others is slavery, the mind quickly wants to conclude that following oneself is freedom. No. Following oneself is slavery even deeper. Because what we call as oneself is usually just an aggregate of the influences of others. Influences of others that have been internalized. Influences so ancient, so common, and so pervasive that one doesn't call them influences anymore. One calls them as one's individuality. One says, this is me. And now because the effect of others upon you gets your own support, so it becomes very difficult to treat. The prisoner has started believing that the cell is his own beautiful house. It would be quite difficult to get him out of there. There are two ways. One is dominated and commanded. One is through explicit maneuver, gross influence, direct impact. A fellow stands with a gun in front of another fellow and says, do as I say, and if you don't, you lose your life. Because the event is quite gross, So it is visible even to the gross senses. The eyes can easily detect that somebody is being enslaved. There can be no doubt about it because of the explicit nature of the event. But when the same thing happens a little subtly, then the eyes fail to detect. The teacher, the newspaper, the internet, the priest, the friends, the family, the parents, the ideologies, the entire decades spent in education, they all sneak inside, not at gunpoint but as well-wishers. They say, we are coming close to you because we love you. And in the garb of coming close, they gain entry into the innermost depths of the mind and colonize them, occupy them. You do not deny them entry, you do not resist, because you are probably young, gullible, innocent. One lets them in. One buys their pretext that they are well-wishers. And they come in and they color the mind with all that they stand for, with their influence, with their dirt. And because now the event is happening not from outside but from inside, so the event, instead of having resistance from you, has your active cooperation. You voice the opinions of those who have conditioned you and say, these are my personal opinions. And if somebody then contradicts those opinions, we feel bad, don't we? And we also feel some kind of a necessity to defend what we stand for. If I belong to a particular sect or ideology or religion, I may stand for free thought, rational inquiry, but somewhere deep within I feel an urge to stand for, promote and justify my own religion. My own religion using the tools of free inquiry and rational thought. So that which is deeply within becomes the center of all effort. All effort emanates from there, and all effort emanates to protect that center. One speaks as somebody and in order to protect that somebody. Two things parallelly. A devoted Hindu, one speaks as the Hindu and wants to ensure that the supremacy of the Hindu is unquestioned. Or a committed communist covetous consumerist. Or anybody. A mother, a husband. An American, a German, a liberal, a Muslim, a Jew, a Christian. All of that goes in here and becomes one's primary identity. One feels as if one is that. Who am I? I am that. Now this is the deepest slavery, because here, as we had just said, the slave has accepted and internalized the slavery. The slave has grown an interest in furthering the slavery. To the first one who was being assaulted with a gun, who was being told to follow somebody else's wishes at gunpoint, if you go and offer help, your help would be accepted. And the fellow would be grateful that you came to rescue him. He would say, I was in trouble. Somebody was trying to possess me, take control of me. You came and you liberated me. Thank you so much. To the second one, if you go and offer help, you would be assaulted. Because now help would be in the nature of liberating him from the stranglehold of his ideologies, of his assumptions, of his self-created and self-imposed identities. To this person, when you say that you are enslaved by all these and you need to get rid of all these, you will be taken as an enemy. And not an ordinary enemy. You would be met with the deepest hostility. Forget about gratitude. You would receive the most severe resistance and condemnation. He would recoil. So deep is this slavery. And it is here that the word compassion becomes meaningful. Because in the first case, the liberator gets gratitude. He offers help and gets gratitude. In the second case, he gets brickbats. He gets bullets. He gets the cross. But still, if the liberator is determined to help, it is pure compassion. One is not even indifferent to the helper. One is actively hostile to the helper. And still the helper says, I must help. It is my deepest responsibility, my dharma, to help. We all are usually quite particular about avoiding the first kind of slavery, the influence of others. I request you to be much more particular about avoiding the second kind of slavery, the influence of others internalized, and hence the tyranny of the I. This I is not you, this is a false I. This I is I only in name. This I is actually influences. Do not be too touchy about this I. Do not guard it. It is not you. So if this I is shown to be false, or challenged, or dissolved, do not feel bad. There is this story, I do not know whether it is factual or it is a myth, but it is quite an educative small thing. It says that the cuckoo is so smart that it goes and lays its eggs. Have you heard of it? In the crow's nest. And the crow is either so blissful or ignorant or innocent that he fails to differentiate between the eggs of the crow and that of the cuckoo. Now the crow is assuming the cuckoo's eggs to be her own and taking care of them and taking ownership and feeling possessive and investing energy. Same is the case with this I. It is not yours. These ideologies, beliefs, assumptions, worldviews, they belong to the cuckoo. And the cuckoo was quite clever, cunning actually. All of us have been taken in. Let us know what is not us. And what is not us deserves to not to be named as I. There is no need to search for the real I. Just know what is false. Know the false I. The real I need not be searched. Freedom is to be free of both. Firstly, others, and secondly, and more importantly, yourself. To be free of others and to be a slave to oneself is no freedom at all. Freedom is really about being free of oneself, not taking oneself too seriously, being attentive so that one knows that one is acting out of conditioning, being observant so that one knows how the mind is susceptible how it absorbs influences, how it is hungry to quickly believe in the world and relate in an unfulfilled way. And loving, so that one does not feel a terrible need to relate with the world. when you are really in a deep relationship, loving relationship with the truth, then all the falsenesses that wants to encroach upon you from the outside does not find quick acceptance within you. Freedom is to be surrendered to the truth. When you are surrendered to the truth, then you are free of the world and also free of yourself.